Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session. So, if you see over the past few weeks, while much of the world's attention has been focused on the conflict in Ukraine and also the rising global tension, a storm has been brewing in the Middle East. I'm talking about Iran and Israel. So, the two long standing adversaries are once again at the center of potential conflict. And the intelligence report suggests Iran might launch a significant attack on Israel under the operation code named True Promise 3. So, in this lecture, we will be diving into the motives behind this conflict, Iran's strategic objectives, and the implications for regional and global stability. See, if you look at the motivation of Iran for the potential action, Iran's aggressive stance stem from multiple factors. If you see, there are many factors which actually telling us why Iran can be aggressive. See, following a devastating Israeli attack on Iran's air defense system earlier, which we have discussed already, Tehran see or want to have a retaliation but yet to respond decisively. And Donald Trump is coming back to power and assuming the US presidency by Jan 2025, and Iran fears the return of its maximum pressure strategy, which previously led to crippling sanctions. So Iran see this as a narrow window to assert its position, believing that an attack on Israel now might weaken its ability to retaliate effectively once Trump is back in power. So that again can be one of the factors. And if you see what is Operation True Promise, we look at a historical perspective. This is not the first time Iran has pursued a strategy under the True Promise banner. So previous operations targeted Israeli infrastructure and personnel. Okay, so the upcoming operation, the True Promise 3, is expected to focus on either direct attack on Israeli territory or targeting Israeli tourists and diplomats abroad. So they can either target the tourist who is coming to Israel or the Israeli diplomats who are outside Israel. Okay, so Tehran or Iran view this as both a response to Israeli action in Gaza and a broader message of defiance against increasing international pressure. Now, if you look at the Netanyahu factor, see, Iran has been vocal about its disdain for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So, the International Criminal Court (ICC) recently issued a symbolic arrest warrant against him for alleged war crimes in Gaza. So, that is again intensifying calls for his accountability. And Iranian leaders, including the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, have openly called for Netanyahu's death. That is again inflaming the tensions, right? So Iran sees targeting Netanyahu and other top Israeli leaders as a way to avenge what it perceives as crimes against Palestinians. Now, if you see the US role and the Trump factor here, Donald Trump is coming back to presidency, and that's actually adding a significant dimension to this conflict at this point of time. So he is known for his unwavering support of Israel. Even during the election time, also he have made it very clear: if he get back power, then the retaliation will be massive. If he is not there, maybe Israel won't be there. So Trump's policies have historically emboldened Israel's actions in the region. Now, Iran anticipate that under his leadership, the US will supply Israel with advanced weaponry and remove restrictions on its military operations. So Tehran's strategy appears to be aimed at preempting this shift by launching its own offensive before US strengthens Israel further. After that means they don't want to wait till Trump is taking over the presidency. Now, if you look at the nuclear ambitions and the strategic posturing, see that is again adding complexity, with respect to this Iran's nuclear program. So there are reports. The recent reports indicate that Iran have accelerated its uranium enrichment and made significant advancements in nuclear technology. So by demonstrating its capabilities through potential nuclear test, Iran seek to establish itself as a formidable force that cannot be easily subdued. So this nuclear posturing not only heightens tension with Israel, but also serve as warning to the West about the consequences of further confrontation if something happened. So now, what is the potential consequences of an Iran-Israel war? That's again very important for us to understand. A direct conflict between Iran and Israel could have catastrophic implications, no doubt in that. The Middle East is already a volatile region, and they're facing a lot of issues already, and this can add fuel to that again. So another war could destabilize it further. So that's the situation Middle East at this point of time. global energy supplies, which heavily depend on stability in this region. So that can again face severe disruptions and can create massive issues and problems across the world. It can become, total chaos and turmoil. Additionally, if you see a conflict involving Iran, Israel, and potentially the US can escalate this into a broader international crisis, it can drag other powers like Russia and China. So we already discussed about, a particular bloc formation between Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. So imagine if China comes into play or Russia comes into play or North Korea is also coming into play on one side with Iran, then this is potentially go to an international crisis or a World War III. So China, as of now, is silent in this, but Russia actively supporting Iran. Right, North Korea is anyway supporting Russia. So we have discussed about all these. So China is watching at this point of time. But if you see, if there is a block formation which is coming, then that is going to be catastrophic. So in conclusion, what I want to tell you is, you see, the rising tension between Iran and Israel are stark reminder of the fragile state of global geopolitics at this point of time. So on one side, Iran's motivations are deeply rooted in regional rivalries and historical grievances. The potential for widespread destruction makes a de-escalation imperative at this point of time. So international mediators must step in to prevent a full-scale war. Otherwise, this is going to be catastrophic, as we have mentioned. So such kind of conflict will benefit no one, and the risk of risk is too much. The entire region can go to turmoil and unprecedented chaos. So guys, let's wrap up. It's very evident that the stakes in the Iran-Israel conflict are higher than ever at this point of time, and the world must act decisively to curb this hostility before it spirals out of out of control and affect everybody. So let's hope that the cooler heads prevail, leading to a dialogue and sustainable solution. So that's about this session, guys, and thank you so much for attending. See you guys in the next session. You can comment your thoughts. So thank you.